Good afternoon. Welcome to our 3:30 edition of the district-wide staff meeting. As I do each week, don't forget that if you have questions or comments, please submit those in the chat portion of this video, and I'll be glad to respond to those at the end. Also, like each week, we start off with some MISD proud moments, and the one that's at the top of the list right now out there on social media is our Panther Regiment, who competed at the state 5A marching contest in San Antonio on Monday. And although they did not make the finals, they performed very well, represent MHS and Midlothian ISD very well. So I want to take a moment to publicly congratulate the regiment for their outstanding performance in San Antonio, as well as having a great season this year. So great job to all of our students and all of our staff that played a part in that. Also, both high school volleyball teams won their bi-district games earlier this week, Monday night and Tuesday night. Midlothian High School will now face Greenville, and Heritage will face Rusk. And we will get information out there. It's out there on social media right now as far as locations and times for those. I believe both of those are tomorrow night. Both high school football teams are in the playoffs. Midlothian High School will play South Oak Cliff next week, and Heritage will face either Henderson or Van next week. Of course, this week is the last game of the season for both high schools, and then the playoffs will begin next weekend. And we will have all that out there, times and dates for all football games on social media once all that is finalized. Also, our career and technology team hosted parent nights earlier this week to talk about the classes that will be housed at the new Mile. So thank you to Nikki Nix and Shelley Waylock for hosting these nights. Our zoning committee met for the last time last night. The committee reviewed all the input that was gathered through emails as well as our parent information sessions that we had last week. On November 18th, the committee will present its final zoning recommendation to the board. The board will take action during the December board meeting. So we'll present it as information one more time, and then final decision will be made on the December board meeting, and then we'll begin the logistics of publicizing that and working through staffing for Dietrich Middle School. Tonight, our board is holding a work session to hear updates on the 2016 bond. They're also going to begin discussions tonight about elementary number 8 and discuss possible locations and a construction timetable for that. Also, we will update the board on options related to the Heritage High School expansion. So as many of you are aware, we've begun the process of designing that, and so we'll begin looking at details for the expansion. And then also, speaking of the bond update, prior to the board meeting on November the 18th, so that'll be at 4 p.m., we will be hosting a beam signing ceremony for Dietrich Middle School. This will be a quick ceremony making for the construction process. And so come out and sign the beam before it becomes part of the building. Also, at our Monday, November 18th, we'll begin our first meeting where we'll begin streaming board meetings live. So you may watch board meetings from the comfort of your own home. All the meetings will be archived on our website for future viewing. Also on the 18th, as I mentioned, we'll be talking about the zoning committee, and then we're also going to actually approve the schematic design for Heritage High School that night. Another celebration is the attendance for the second 6 weeks was excellent. We definitely beat last year's mark of 96.69, and we will be announcing our campus winners at the principals meeting this week. And then one last thing, Teacher of the Year voting is out there, so please cast your votes, and the deadline is November the 15th. So at this time, I'm going to have Nikki Nix join me, and she's going to be doing an update on the Mile and our CTE program. So I'm going to jump over here quickly and share my screen so that you can see her presentation as she joins me here. Okay, Ms. Nix.
So as Dr. Ledbetter mentioned, we had a breakfast this past Wednesday where we had over 120 business and industry partners from around the Midlothian area and the DFW Metroplex come and show their support for what we're doing and volunteer to be mentors and curriculum coaches for our different career and tech programs. We talked about different ways that we're innovating and solving problems, not just for them as potential employers of our students, but also for students in the classroom. A part of that breakfast, we shared with them updates on the Mile. We revealed the renderings for the front of the building that you're looking at now. This is currently the back of the old urban building by the cafeteria that will become the new entrance. And if the slides will change. There are some additional renderings of the inside. This is the Learning Commons area where you see a lot of open workspaces, the bistro area where culinary arts students will be able to serve the public in a real workplace environment where they have a register and a counter just like you would have in a real restaurant. And then this is the incubator space where our business partners will come in and help students ideate and solve problems and create products that are missing from our community in that process. So we also shared with our partners the new logo for the mile since it won't have a mascot like a traditional campus. We went the logo that just like the inside of the building is flexible and can be arranged in different ways, just like the shapes in the logo. And then everything that we're doing is outside the box and changing the face of education. So the blue arrow is pointing you outside of the box and changing the way that things are done and the way that you expect education to look for students. Dr. Lebeter also mentioned the town hall meetings that we're having for parents. We had our first one this past Tuesday, but here you see a list of the upcoming meetings so the parents and students or you as parts of people involved in our school community can come hear about each of the programs that we're offering at the mile. So mark those on your calendar and we hope to see you there.
Okay, so that concludes our session for today. I'm going to jump back over here and see if there are any questions. And I'm not sure what I have done here, but that's okay. Technical difficulty. So I'm going to try to get through this. Okay. Questions, comments, concerns? All right. Chat portion. I don't see any questions. I need one question. Let's see who's willing to ask a question. Surely we generated some thoughts there. I'm just curious if anybody's actually online. Is anybody listening? Oh, wait, we have a question. And we have somebody checking in just to let me know they were here. Good. So at least one person was listening. That's a good sign. There's another hello. Hello. All right, at least there's people out there. That's good. That's a good sign. All right. Well, I do not see any real questions. So I will conclude this session. Hope you have a wonderful evening.